Oh, whoops.
Persona! How's this?
Nice.
Now, surround them! Time to punish them! Beat him up! You sure showed me. Beat him up! I don't know
Let's
its
go.
weak point. It's trial and error time.
Nagi Picaro!
Ooh, Joker, you're looking cool. Beat him up!
This'll hurt.
Wow.
Wake up! No, come on, wake up! Joker, your health is low. Watch out!
There we go!
Thank you. Support's on the way. Okay, time for a comeback.
Let's do this!
No one should die in vain.
Using it! I'll repay you somehow.
This'll hurt. What's wrong? Scared?
Taste my wrath! Yeah.
Buddy.
I'll use this.
Very helpful. Thanks. Thanks!
Let's get this
I don't have any skills that'll hit its weak spot.
Silent, buddy.
Lilith! All right. Persona!
Persona! This should help.
I'm grateful. Thank you. Sorry! Persona!
How's this?
Persona! Use this! Sorry.
I'm very grateful. Woo! Persona! This is a part of me.
Persona!
Yeah, keep smiling,
that.
buddy.
Let's go. Mothman, you're mine. You saw
Surround
that?
them!
They're scattered.
Power up!
Thanks.
They're done for! look for their weakness.
Persona! Persona! Get wrecked!
Stop! You sure showed me.
Time for some pain!
All out attack!
Let's do this! Come on!
Senpai!
Go for it!
Together. I won't forget. Blam! We got them, Senpai. You get into the Platinum League for that. Skill's pretty good.
My skills exceed yours!
Persona. Huh?
Persona! Persona! Ikanagi Picaro!
Ooh, Joker, you're looking cool. All out attack.
Persona! Who's next?
Surround him.
I was waiting for it.
Beat him up. Come. Behold. Ooh, awesome.
Persona!
Nice.
Dentaise! Impressive skill.
Nice.
You sure showed me. They're done for.
Persona!
Persona. Infinity. Just look for their weakness.
Give me the spare.
This should help.
I'm grateful. Sorry. Woo! Persona! Persona!
Give me the spare.
Ara Mitama! Useless. I'll use this. Whip him, Persona! Persona! All right.
This'll hurt.
Whoa.
Manifest.
Give me the spare.
Persona.
For me.
Ara Mitama! Something else.
What's the case?
Everyone, are you okay? Focus on healing up.
Persona! Ha! Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks!
Come. This is a part of me.
Persona! Persona!
Just
Some
look
other
for
way.
their weakness.
Persona! There.
This'll hurt.
Persona!
For me.
Persona.
Persona!
Give me the spare.
Eat this! Persona! No. Persona! Mothman! There!
Joker got knocked
Meh.
down.
Getting dizzy. My
Your health
vision.
is dangerously low. Hurry up and heal. Much obliged.
Sorry.
You're dizzy. Your attack might not protect them.
Meh.
Persona!
Nice. 456 experience, 14,850 money. Nice. Joker and Futaba leveled up.
Power courses through me.
I'm getting tired.
I should write something.
Shujin classroom. Let's see. What save file do I overwrite? Oops. Let's do this one. All right, that was fuck. Part was it? Part 15 of Persona 5 Royal Hard Mode, HP 5 times. Golden XP halved, party rebalance with Gay Joker mod. Thank you guys so much for watching. This will be a eventful stream coming up on the next one. Hopefully Mishima will be in a relationship with us and we'll get to see all of their Hawaii hangouts. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sparkid. Oh, and thanks to Lottie Thottie from Kick joining throughout the day. Also Dark Wolf, much appreciated. And also Jorky for moderating tonight. And Joker King for coming in as well on the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Sparkid and I'll see you guys next time. Go back in time, apparently. Underground walkway. And that's apparently right here, I think. Yeah, so we just have to get some requests done to make that happen. The graphics are really down. Give me a moment here. Is it this? Definitely not September. Yeah, it has to be this part. Okay, so we'll start over from this point. Why is the graphics so high? I mean, the frame rate low at this point. It never used to be like this, I don't think. Oh, guess I have to get through. Alright. So what do we got for requests? Confidants, let's see here. Eight. I just need one rank there. And we focus on Shima there. Oh, it's probably VSync that's causing frame rate loss. Okay, there we go. And let me just go back to the NVIDIA thing again. Just adjust some graphics here. Fan of thieves. No money for us. Okay, let's get Mishima's stuff back here. Assaulting people. Okay, convenience store.
Hey, hey! What do you want to do? Oh, thank God!
Oh, wait. Wait a minute, let's try it again.
Rain, huh?
By the way, I see.
Hey, hey! What do you want to do? Oh, thank God!
And a bread.
Team will make that transition to get them out to the front porch, do assessments on them again, call it to our med bay, and then once we have that and they're all good to go and the crew's feeling okay, we'll hoist them up in the helos. It's about a 3-minute flight back to the flight deck, and that's where me and the astronaut chief Scott Tingle will actually meet them. I'll get eyes on them, make sure they're all good, just take very slow transitions, and then one by one we'll either get them out with the SMTs, the SAR med techs under each arm to, kind of just walk them very slowly to med bay, which actually helps them acclimate back to 1G. Or if they really don't have their sea legs back yet, then we might put them in what we call a stair chair, which will be right behind them, and then just very slowly kind of get them back into med bay to start our full assessments for the team.
Yeah, so a really great team here to support them as soon as they get back, and also all throughout the mission, of course. You talked a little bit about this, but obviously, we have seen astronauts return from the International Space Station for over 25 years, so we kind of know that journey, how it affects the body. But yes, we're talking about humans returning from the moon for the first time since 1972. How is this different from your perspective?
So it's different in one very significant respect. With on Apollo, for exercise, they had something called the Apollo Exergenia, which was basically just a little canister with some ropes, and they would have some resistance and kind of do that. And the Apollo astronauts really liked that. They liked the ability to exercise, because you decondition from a musculoskeletal standpoint, you lose your strength and your stamina very quickly. We had something called the Orion flywheel, which was able to impart much greater loads in terms of resistance, so they're able to do squats, deadlifts, different things, not dissimilar to what the ISS astronauts do, but with a lot less room to do it. And they also did rowing activities for cardiovascular health, and the crews loved it. But for the lunar crews, the future lunar crews, maintaining that physical conditioning, which our astronaut strength and conditioning rehabilitation specialists, affectionately known as the ACERs, back in Houston, really work hard to get them in the best shape they're going to, have to be in to get to the moon. That device hopefully will maintain that. And Apollo only had about a 4.3-day journey to the moon. Our astronauts are going to have about a 10 to 14-day journey. Right. So maintaining that physical fitness, that strength and stamina is going to be crucial for the success of being able to do those very physically demanding lunar EVAs. Right. So we're very excited about what the astronauts have said about the device and what they have to say about the role exercise plays, going to the moon. And also the mental benefit.
Sure.
They just really like sweating, breaking the sweat, and actually just feeling like, they're just getting a workout.
Right. Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate it. I know they're going to be in good hands, so we'll let you get back to it. Thank you so much.
Megan, thanks for the time.
Back to you, Rob.
Okay, Megan, back here in Mission Control in Houston. Everything is moving along in order. This view of Reed Wiseman on the left, Victor Glover on the right. We have good suit leak checks. Everything aboard integrity is in excellent shape. The vehicle, with the Earth growing larger and larger in the field of view, we're now just about 8,200 nautical miles away from Earth and closing in for a splashdown just 1 hour and 5 minutes from now.
Just to be clear, there's a difference between nautical mile
Integrity,
and mile.
just under a minute till your GPS maneuver initiates, and both GPS units look eager to acquire.
So he mentioned nautical miles. That's different from miles.
3 and 4 are working on seat strap in now.
Houston copies.
Just to be clear, so it says 9,300 miles, which is about 80,000 or so
as
nautical
we
miles.
start to close in on some of the major milestones, the first one coming up in just 31 minutes.
And Integrity, just confirming the LCG gas trap was able to be closed out.
Affirmative.
Copy.
Crew module, service module separation scheduled just 31 minutes from now. The key point of interest, of course, will be the performance of Integrity's heat shield during its high-speed entry back into Earth and the peak heating that is expected around the spacecraft of some 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Crazy view. Look at this view. Look at this view.
As, I think most folks know by now, we flew a trajectory known as a skip entry, in which we performed an initial dip into the atmosphere to bleed off some energy. Then we skipped out of the atmosphere and dipped back into the atmosphere before splashing down in the Pacific. But after the mission was over with, we noticed unexpected liberation of some of the charring effects on the heat shield known as AVCOAT. Before the flight, we had an opportunity to sit down and talk with Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling to get a perspective on what this all means and how the mission was redesigned to try to protect Integrity's heat shield to a higher extent. Let's take a look at that interview.
I want to take some comments from you guys. First of all, thanks so much to Diane Ware, Hotfix, Teppy, Steve Sutton, Shifty Lincoln. Thank you. So again, you can see the miles per hour now is about 13,500. That's going to get up to over 24,000 miles per hour. I believe they said that. We're under 9,000 miles away of distance. Let me just take some comments from you. Someone says, so amazing. Let's see here. Shell C says it almost doesn't look real. Roberts May Queen says it is so pretty. Incredible. Let's see here. Jewish Pickle says, I wish I could make it to the naval pier. But that's an amazing view. When you see that shot of the spaceship and the Earth in front of it, incredible. When is the, just so to be clear, very soon we have, in 28 minutes is when the crew module is supposed to separate from the service module. I can tell you that. That's 28 minutes. Let me get the audio back on.
Deleterious forces against that heat shield that were noticed on the Artemis 1 mission.
We think we see a beautiful sunrise over the west coast of Australia.
We copy.
Commander Reed Wiseman reveling in his final hour in space on this mission, as Integrity is passing over the southwest coast of Australia now.
Now that's a visualization. That's a visualization. That's not a camera.
Miles. That will begin the southwest and northeasterly transit across the Pacific Ocean. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the highlights and some of the numbers associated with the points of interest here. We are 27 and a half minutes away from crew module, service module separation. That will be followed about 3.5 minutes later by the raise burn that we've discussed, a 19-second burn of Integrity's thrusters to fine-tune its angle of attack as it enters the Earth's atmosphere. Entry interface is scheduled 47.5 minutes from now. That's the point at which we will reach the top of the Earth's atmosphere, traveling about 34,882 feet per second at an altitude of 400,000 feet. Just 24 seconds after entry interface, we will begin a blackout period of 6 minutes in duration at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. Now, about 10 seconds after the blackout period begins, we are expected to reach peak speed, which would be 24,661 miles an hour. That'll be about 103 miles an hour short of the velocity record set by the Apollo 10 astronauts, Tom Stafford, Gene Cernan, and John Young, when they returned from the moon on the Apollo 10 mission in 1969. That blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes in duration. At 6:54 and 52 seconds p.m. Central Time, we'll reach our peak heating period of about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees while we're in a communications blackout from Integrity and its astronauts. That blackout should end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time, at which point we expect to regain communications with the crew. Capcom Jackie Mahaffey here in the flight control room will be talking to the crew, calling them, and we'll await a response from the crew as they come out of that blackout period. And at that point, their altitude will be just 157,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at 13,000 feet per second, with a range to splashdown of just 147 nautical miles. From that point on, the next key series of events will be the deployment of a series of parachutes that we discussed before. First, the forward bay cover chute deploy that will pull the forward bay cover away from the top of Integrity, followed by drogue chute deploy, and then the main chute deploy that's expected at 7:04 and 44 seconds p.m. Central Time. That will begin the gentle descent of Integrity towards its splashdown at just a velocity of just 19 miles an hour, and that will begin the recovery operations that you just heard Megan Cruz discuss with her folks on the USS John Murtha. All of Integrity's systems in great shape. The crew is suited up. Leak checks complete as we stand by for the next major milestone, which will be the crew module service module separation just 24.5 minutes from now.
Less than an hour until splashdown. Wow. Thank you to Charlotte Richardson. Thank you, Charlotte. Less than an hour until splashdown.
All of the activities from the start of entry interface to the point of splashdown will be quite rapid fire, just 13.5 minutes from the point at which we begin descent into the Earth's atmosphere till splashdown. And just to show you, as Rick Shearing, the flight surgeon, alluded to in his interview with Megan Cruz, all of this happens to decelerate the vehicle from traveling around Mach 33 to just 19 miles an hour at splashdown. All of that happening in just 13.5 minutes.
Look at the miles go down
and the
on the distance
parachutes
from
are all
Earth.
Designed to support all of that. So we'll be standing by to report all that to you in sequential fashion as these milestones are ticked off and as we hear from the crew during its entry back into the Earth's atmosphere and ultimately when they emerge from the blackout period. And at that point, we'll be just minutes away from splashdown.
It's crazy to see those miles tick off.
So with all of those preparations ongoing, we can return here briefly for another report from the USS John P. Murtha and Megan Cruz. Megan?
It's about 40 miles off the coast of the John P. Murtha. You can see it on marine traffic. I'll show it to you on marine traffic.
And we'll regain that communication with the USS John P. Murtha just momentarily.
Here, the John P. Murtha is here. So there's San Diego.
In the meantime, everything is on track aboard
there it is,
Integrity,
right here.
The flight control team here in Houston, led by Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling. The voice you will hear talking to the crew is that of Jackie Mahaffey. She will be reporting everything to the crew and receiving their reports as they enter the Earth's atmosphere for their 13.5-minute plunge back into the atmosphere for splashdown off the coast of San Diego. Now we have the ship back with us and Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha. Megan?
11 balloon, right?
We're 11 on that.
Hey, Rob, yeah, the excitement is really building here on the ship. I'm watching right now one of the weather balloons being lofted up from the ship. Again, weather balloons, very important for us to make sure that we are tracking the right kind of weather and also the data that's needed for what's called our Sasquatch team. Again, basically make sure that the debris that comes off of Orion, again, some of those pieces of the parachute system, make sure that they don't fall on us here in the sea and also our aerial assets, our folks in helicopters. So watching that float away right now. But with me right now is Captain Eric Kenny. He's the commanding officer of the John P. Murtha naval ship. Thank you so much for being here. There are so many moving parts that you have to keep an eye on.
That's absolutely right, yeah. But first of all, on behalf of the crew of USS John P. Murtha, Megan, thanks for having me on today. Happy to tell you what we're doing and excited to get the interview started.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't we actually take a look at the flight deck here? We'll start there. Basically, we also, while watching this weather balloon float away, we noticed all 4 helicopters leave the flight deck. We now have an empty flight deck. We had 2 imagery helos as well as the 2 crew helicopters that will go recover the crew. This is just one of the many things that, again, our ship of 550 people, it's something that you oversee as commanding officer.
Yeah, absolutely. Every commanding officer, I would say really every naval service member, our priority is always safety. And as the commanding officer, I take that
wow,
as
the view from the plane.
Plane view. Mission accomplishment is important, safety always. So my day really has, I would say my message to the crew has sort of changed over the past 24 hours. As we're leading up to today, we've been building up the excitement and motivating the team for the training that we've executed. But really over the past 24 hours, now I'm trying to get us to slow down a little bit. Trust our training, right? Don't believe all the hype. Don't believe everything that's going on. Just let's trust what we've done to get to this point. And if we do that, we'll be successful today.
Mm-hmm. And also part of the big success is obviously the coordination between NASA and the U.S. military. How does it feel being able to support the human space program we have?
Yeah, I mean, since 1959 with Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, the history between NASA and the Navy has been in lockstep. But like any other skill, if you don't practice it regularly, that skill atrophies. So we've had a few decades off from that. But, over the past 4 or 5 years, really with this ship over the past year, we've constantly trained and working for this moment right here. Building up the hype, but to get to this point today, to be able to trust in all the training we've done. We've worked with, working with NASA, the Air Force, the medical team, dive team. You want to talk about high-performance organizations coming together, working in unison? We are seeing that here on board the USS John P. Murtha, and I can't be more proud of all the work everyone's doing.
Yeah, you had some great words this morning saying just that. Again, that it's really nice to see everybody working together and so excited. I mean, you just became the commanding officer of this ship back in February. How does it personally feel for you to be a part of this historic moment today?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, I'd say any opportunity to command any warship in the United States Navy is a tremendous honor, is a pinnacle of any naval officer's career. That being said, as my change of command was approaching, and I realized that Artemis was going to be in the window here, to say that I'm humbled and honored to be here is an understatement. What really just excites me is the opportunity to see this crew, who has been training so hard over the past year plus, come together. It is what inspires me. Listening to NASA and the ownership and pride they take, they make my crew better. I think we're making NASA better together. That synergy is something that I'm happy to see and hopefully take forward with me in my career.
Yeah, it's all about partnerships. We couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't have gotten to the moon without our international partners as well. So thank you so much, Captain. It was really great to have you here today.
Thanks, Megan.
Awesome. All right, Rob, back to you.
Thank you, Megan. Back here in Mission Control in Houston. We just had a quick view of the crew. We'll get that view back, and there they are again. Here in Mission Control, the entry team of flight controllers led by Rick Henfling and Jackie Mahaffey serving as the spacecraft communicator. We have just handed over communications links from the Deep Space Network that we communicated with the crew through from the time of the translunar injection burn back on April 2nd. We've just handed back to the Tracking and Data Relay satellite system as we prepare for the crew module service module separation that will take place just 17 minutes from now. With the Earth looming in front of Integrity as it barrels back for a splashdown of the Pacific just 50 minutes from now, we're just 5,700 nautical miles from splashdown. Just one other quick note about the comparison from the Artemis 1 entry profile to the Artemis 2 entry profile and how that is serving as an extra layer of protection for Integrity's heat shield. The Artemis 1 entry had an entry range of some 3,178 nautical miles, a very long down track, and a very longer period of exposure to heat loads than we're experiencing tonight. It also had that skip entry profile that we discussed earlier, dipping into the Earth's atmosphere, then back out, then back in. It was about 20 minutes of exposure.
Integrity, Houston, comm check on TDRS.
Jackie, we have it loud and clear on TDRS.
Oh, look at that.
We have you the same.
And there's one of the weather balloons being deployed from the USS John P. Murtha. So the Artemis 1 entry had the vehicle...
Any update on GPS? We haven't seen it track in yet.
We are watching. We are starting to get into the window where they may start acquiring, so should be within the next 10 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. We're holding at step 17 and getting ready for CMRCS hot fire.
And that exchange indicating that we are expecting to acquire data from the GPS system on board. That'll be a navigational tool that will basically tell Integrity's computers that they're on track down the center line of the corridor for the entry interface that will lead them to their splashdown point. Once again, the Artemis 1 entry exposed the heat shield for about 20 minutes of peak heating. For Artemis 2, we're going to reach a downtrack distance of 1,701 nautical miles from the point of entry interface with just 14 minutes of duration. And it's basically a different angle of attack, a little bit steeper angle of attack that will protect the heat shield from excessive heat loads. So that is the difference between Artemis 1 and Artemis 2, all designed into this mission to gather data to protect the heat shield, since the Artemis 3 mission and beyond will have a different designed heat shield.
Less than 6,000 miles
that
now.
Skip entry type of profile to be resumed for all of the future missions coming back from the south pole of the moon when we initiate lunar landings. So we've handed over to the Tracking and Data Relay Satellite System. That's where we'll have communications for the rest of the flight. Just to give you some time hacks here, we're 13.5 minutes away from crew module, service module separation, and just 17 minutes away from the raise burn, that 19-second firing of the thrusters that will basically be the final fine-tuning of the angle of attack for Integrity as it enters the Earth's atmosphere.
It is crazy seeing the miles as they go by, as a number of you have said, how fast this thing is going. And it's going to get faster. I believe up to over 24,000 miles an hour maximum. We are very close. Appreciate you being here for our live coverage. Thanks Soulfly, by the way, and PTGR Strategies. Thank you. Also Space Turkey.
And once again,
oh, look at this.
A dueling box view of some of the assets that are involved in recovery operations today. The
Integrity, cabin configured, all crew suited and seated.
Houston, copies.
That confirmation from Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity, as you see the assets being deployed to the splashdown zone. At the time of splashdown, we expect the John P. Murtha to be about 5 miles away from Integrity, keeping a safe distance until we are sure that the vehicle is in the water and upright, and that it is in a good configuration system-wide for the recovery teams to begin to approach the vehicle to erect that inflatable raft.
2 minutes to CM RCS warm-up hot fire.
We're ready.
That call from spacecraft communicator Jackie Mahaffey indicating that we're 2 minutes away from a quick burst of the reaction control system. Thrusters, that will be a hot fire test.
That's a visualization.
Prior to the separation of the crew module from the service module.
Visualization.
The European service module has performed flawlessly throughout this flight. Everything, all the burns that had been prescribed for that service module have been executed on time and without a problem. There is the European flight control room that has overseen the manufacturing, the design of the European service module. They deserve quite a bit of credit on this mission for not only propelling the Integrity and its astronauts toward the moon, but also conducting the fine-tuning of its trajectory to bring it to this point where we are dead spot on down the middle of the corridor trajectory-wise to bring Integrity down for its splashdown in the Pacific just 44 minutes from now.
There again, that's a visualization right there. But in a few minutes, the crew capsule is going to separate from the service module. Jewish Pickle says, next stop, Earth. Flight Radar 24, you can see a bunch of helicopters in the area, all these helicopters and these NASA
What you're looking at is a computer-generated visualization based on real-time telemetry from Integrity. Currently traveling
look at
about
this.
16,000 miles an hour.
Whoa. What do we got? Look at this. Live helicopter coverage. What was that?
Integrity traveling about 16,000 miles an hour.
For the prop cautions, we're taking a look.
That was bonus coverage.
Copy that.
Now just about 5,100 miles from Earth. Splashdown scheduled 43 minutes from now. We're just 9.5 minutes away from the crew module service module separation.
Less than 5,000 miles now away. Velocity over 16,000 miles per hour.
We are confirming.
Integrity, we are assessing details, but so far looks like a good hot fire.
Looks good on board, Jackie. Thank you.
And Jackie Mahaffey took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that we had a good hot fire test of the thrusters in advance of the crew module service module separation that's coming up just 8.5 minutes from now. This will begin the period in which we will have rapid-fire succession of critical activities on board that will lead to entry interface just 28 minutes from now, where the vehicle will enter the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. The time of entry interface, 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time.
Here again is Flight Radar 24. These are all, I believe these are all Navy helicopters in here off the coast of San Diego. You can see there is a, that is a NASA plane. That is a
Integrity's astronauts were awakened at mid-morning to begin their entry preparations. And propulsion officer now reports a good hot fire test in preparation for the crew module service module separation.
Thanks, Greg Pondell. Friendly Actor Gardner. Thank you for the memberships. Humbology and Soulfly 8, thank you as well. Appreciate it.
We're now inside 41 minutes until splashdown.
Integrity Houston, we have confirmed a good CMRCS hot fire. And although we are not seeing GPS acquired yet, you can skip the troubleshooting steps in 157 for now.
Integrity copies.
That GPS discussion indicating that we will be acquiring navigational data for Integrity through the Global Positioning System equipment on board. We just don't have it yet, but we will. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape to support its high-speed entry into the Earth's atmosphere. It, once again, will reach a peak speed of 24,661.21 miles an hour.
Your call, GPS. We at least have GPS 1 looking good on board.
That is a live shot right there. Oh, we're going to see the separation.
We're confirming.
We're going to see the separation from that camera, right? We'll see the crew capsule separate from the crew module separate from the service module.
Guidance, navigation, and control officer here in Mission Control confirming that we have good lock on GPS data. We are on a communications link now through the tracking and data relay satellite system. Now, following splashdown, we're going to lose that link and go to what's called a VLDR, a very low data rate communications link, so that we can talk to the crew inside Integrity as they are on the water.
Integrity, confirm we do see good GPS.
We do too, especially GPS 1 is accepting in nav channels 1 and 3.
That GPS data is basically telling Integrity's onboard computers its position relative to the Earth, but its trajectory and its orientation according to flight dynamics and the guidance, navigation, and control officer is spot on. We have now armed the pyros for the crew module service module separation coming up less than 5 minutes from now.
Less than 5 minutes till the crew and service modules separate.
Once again,
5 minutes.
Just 10 seconds after entry interface, we will see Integrity reaching its peak speed of 24,661.21 miles per hour. That will be just seconds before we begin a 6-minute blackout period.
Integrity, Houston. Your vehicle is in a good config for CMSM SEP and go for CM raise.
CMSM SEP, good position. Under 4,000 miles.
Same on board and copy, go for CM raise.
Go for crew module raise.
That CM raise referred to as the slight firing of 19 seconds by Integrity's thrusters with a change in velocity of 9.9 feet per second, a slight nudge of the aft end of the vehicle so that it's tilted a bit upward, providing the final angle of attack as the vehicle enters the Earth's atmosphere. This being the mitigating factor that will reduce heat loads on the heat shield as we reach a point downrange from the start of entry interface, some 1,701 nautical miles to the splashdown site. Integrity systems in excellent shape. We are currently 3,300 nautical miles left in this mission. Splashdown scheduled 36 minutes, 39 seconds from now.
Integrity, Houston. For the 2 enabled prop cautions, what happened is while the thrusters were firing, multiple pressure sensors on each of the strings diverged a bit from each other. Those limits look to be set pretty tight. We think it could happen again when the thrusters fire in the future, so we are going to suppress those messages.
We concur with suppress, not inhibit. Thank you.
That exchange between Jackie Mahaffey, our Capcom for tonight, and Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity, indicating basically to ignore sensor data. All of Integrity systems are in good shape.
We're very close to module separation. And I think in the next 2 minutes that's supposed to happen. Module separation, crew module and service module, supposed to separate very shortly.
Now, coming up on about 90 seconds till the crew module, service module separation.
There you go, 90 seconds. Hoping we get to see it right here. Keep your eyes out. I'm going to take the clock off just for a second.
All quiet here in Mission Control as we enter the most critical phase of the completion of this flight. All of the preparatory activities leading up to the vehicle entering the Earth's atmosphere just 21 minutes from now.
We have to be less than a minute or so until the crew module and service module separate.
Coming up on 1 minute. Mark, 1 minute till crew module, service module separation.
There it is, 1 minute. Here we go. Any moment now, expecting separation. Whoa, wow, there it is. Wow.
And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation.
Whoa.
And a great view, albeit momentarily.
It's separated.
Houston, good step on board.
There you go.
Houston copies and concurs.
The European service module now separated from Integrity, a job well done.
Integrity, no action for the 4 CDH cautions. Those are SM related, not applicable.
Integrity.
That was pretty neat. That service module is the primary...
So with Integrity now flying free on its own for the remaining 32 minutes of this mission. Next up, the raise burn, a 19-second firing of Integrity's thrusters.
GPS 2.
The service module is the primary...
Integrity copies, good GPS 2.
It's primary power and propulsion component.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark until the raise burn. Again, this is the final tweaking of the orientation of Integrity to put it in the right angle, if you will, the angle of attack that it will fly in during its entrance into the Earth's atmosphere. Entry interface now just 18 minutes, 25 seconds away.
That is a visualization.
This is a visualization, but driven by real-time telemetry. This is the maneuvering of Integrity to the raise burn orientation.
So that really represents what's going on.
2,800 miles from Earth.
So it really, that's what it's doing right now. It's turning its orientation now, because that's based on real-time data.
Houston, we got a great view of the European service module out the window with the sun hitting the side and the solar rays and the NASA worm right there. It's a beautiful looking machine.
They can see the service module, which separated out the window.
Roger.
And we have completed the maneuver to the raise burn orientation, 1 minute away from the raise burn.
They're going to do a raise burn to set the proper entry angle. It seemed to be on the visualization before it seemed to show it turning, although I don't know. It definitely was turning on the visualization. But they're doing something called a raise burn. 18-second crew module raise burn to set the proper entry angle and align the heat shield for atmospheric interface. That is what's coming up very shortly. And one of our viewers mentioned the speed is now 19,500. Look at those miles come off. Look at how fast the miles are coming off.
And the crew module raise burn is underway. A 19-second firing of the thrusters. And we have a completion of the burn.
The burn is complete. They just fired the thrusters for 18 seconds. Thanks, minding your business. Diver Patty, TE88, thank you. Speak louder.
Integrity, good. CM raise burn. Your flight path angle is within limits.
Very good. Speak louder, Jennifer Rodding, thank you. Soulfly, thank you.
Integrity copies. Looks good on board, Jackie.
So the final maneuver is now complete. Our trajectory for a splashdown in the Pacific 29 minutes from now is set and will not be amended any further. And we have the right angle of attack to mitigate any excessive heat loads on the vehicle during entry interface.
Integrity, Houston, a heads up about comm coverage. When you perform the 180 roll, for the first minute or so in that attitude, we expect about a minute LOS.
Minute loss of signal. Look at the speed. Speed is almost at 20,000. Velocity almost at 20,000. It's going to get up to over 24,000.
So for those who are watching the series of events coming up, we will enter the first traces of Earth's atmosphere 14 minutes, 45 seconds from now. 6:53 and 30 seconds is what is pegged for entry interface at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling at approximately 34,800 feet per second, range to touchdown or splashdown 1,701 nautical miles. 24 seconds after entry interface, we will enter a 6-minute blackout period in which we will lose communications with the crew. This is expected due to the buildup of plasma around the vehicle. That's an ionization effect due to the collision, if you will, of the velocity of the spacecraft with the friction of the Earth's atmosphere. That 6-minute blackout is expected to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. During that period of time, we will reach our peak speed of 24,661 miles per hour. That comes just short, based on unofficial data from the flight dynamics officer right now, will come just short of the velocity record set by Apollo 10 of 24,791 miles per hour in 1969. We expect peak heating on the vehicle at 6:54 and 52 seconds p.m. Central Time, a minute and 22 seconds into entry interface. At that point, we will be just 204,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at 33,000 feet per second. The blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes. We expect that blackout period to end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time. From the end of the blackout period until splashdown, it is just 7 minutes, at which point we'll start deploying the series of parachutes to slow integrity down to an ultimate splashdown velocity of just 19 miles an hour.
We see the same, waiting for the 180 rolls.
The parachute deployment sequence, once again, will come in several segments, but in rapid-fire succession.
And we have a great view of the moon out window, too. Looks a little smaller than yesterday.
Almost 2,100 miles velocity, 21,000 miles an hour and counting, going up. About 1,500 miles distance from Earth right now, going down.
Reed Wiseman and Jackie Mahaffey exchanging discussion on a view of the moon that Integrity's astronauts are seeing in the final minutes of this mission that will be completed with splashdown just 25 minutes from now. 3 forward bay cover parachutes will be used to pull the forward bay cover off the top of the vehicle. Then 2 drogue parachutes will be deployed to slow and stabilize the crew module during its descent, followed by 3 pilot parachutes that will lift and deploy the main parachutes from the forward bay. The final sequence will have 3 main parachutes deployed. These will be 116 feet in diameter, each main parachute approximately 265 feet long when reefed. The parachutes will ultimately slow Integrity down from its peak speed of almost 33 times the speed of sound to a gentle 19 miles an hour at splashdown.
Yes, I believe the service module is destroyed as it re-enters the atmosphere. That's what I was reading that yesterday.
The vehicle is now currently in a roll to the proper attitude for entry interface. Our trajectory is right on according to flight dynamics.
Wow. Quick thanks to Vicky Healy. And speak louder for the people in the back. And Haley Girl and BBG, thanks for the memberships. And John Mahovsky, thank you. Minding your business
is on a trajectory from southwest and northeast across the Pacific Ocean, descending at a rate of 15,000 feet per second.
15,000 feet per second. Minding your business says, this takes me back to my childhood in the Apollo splashdown.
Range to touchdown, 4,300 nautical miles. All the systems in excellent shape.
Thanks also, Diver Patty, and Minding Your Business. Thanks to all of you for watching. Look at this. About 20 minutes until splashdown. Everything going well so far. Thanks to all of our moderators, too.
Integrity, Orion in the EI roll 180 attitude.
Looks good on board, Jackie.
This view out of one of Integrity's windows. We had a call for 3 good barrows. Those are barometric pressure sensors that feed altitude and rate of descent information to Integrity's computers that will trigger the parachute deployment sequence. We are less than 9 minutes away from entry interface, 22 minutes from splashdown.
It's amazing to see out the window. They said it was out the window, didn't they? Under 1,000 miles distance from Earth, as our viewer just said.
You can see the reflection of one of the crew members in the window. Out in the Pacific, the weather conditions remain go. Just a few clouds, some scattered clouds. Winds at 10 knots. Wave heights just about 4 feet. A gentle day in the Pacific for the homecoming of Integrity's astronauts.
870 miles. The max speed is around 24,661 miles that they will reach, and they are getting close.
Integrity back in EI attitude.
We see the same on board, Jackie.
It's crazy they are going that fast.
Houston, Bird is complete. Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
Crew and vehicle configured for entry.
Houston copies.
And we're in step 37, transferring nav state to BFS.
Less than 20 minutes. Well, on my clock. I think my clock is like 20 seconds from their clock. But they don't have their clock up right now. The crew is expected to experience up to 3.9
And Houston, in instruction
Gs.
509, we are not below 0.2.
Again, the crew is expected to experience up to 3.9 Gs in the planned entry profile, says NASA.
Integrity, no action required.
Integrity.
Now 6 minutes away from entry interface. We will hit the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling about 34,882 feet per second. Range to splashdown at that point will be 1,701 nautical miles.
Wait, so are we seeing the Earth at the bottom there?
And once again,
what
just
are
a reminder,
are we seeing the Earth?
some 24
I don't even know.
seconds after entry interface, we do expect to lose communications with the vehicle and the crew. during a 6-minute blackout period when a plasma shield will build up around the spacecraft due to the ionization, due to heating effects.
So that's the Earth? Am I right? I don't know.
And Flight Dynamics has just confirmed we will have a blackout period of exactly 6 minutes in duration. And once again, that's due to the fact that a plasma buildup around the vehicle will prevent communications and data, so we will not be able to talk to the crew members at that time, nor will we receive data here in the flight control room.
That's for 6 minutes.
Looking good on board. Just confirm no pre-EI downloads.
Houston concurs.
So that starts in about 3-4 minutes.
Blackout period to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time, and again will last.
Look at this.
About 6 minutes in duration.
So again, in about 3 minutes, they're going to be in a 6-minute period where we can't. There's a communications blackout.
We're 4 minutes away from entry interface.
Wow! Look at this video. Unbelievable. 350 miles away. Everything going well so far. We're about 17 minutes until actual splashdown, 8:07 Eastern Time. But I took the clock off because I wanted to show you the video.
This view from Integrity.
Look at the speed. Look at the velocity.
It crosses from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean, 3 minutes from entry interface.
Look at the velocity. So the max it's going to get is 24,661, I believe.
16.5 minutes till splashdown.
We're very close to maximum velocity. 24,000.
The USS John P. Murtha and the recovery team is on station and in position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere and through parachute deployment.
We're getting very close to the fastest velocity. We're under 200 miles. Look at the miles go down. Crazy.
All of Integrity's systems are in great shape. The crew is ready to complete its mission just 15.5 minutes from now. All of the activities today have gone off in perfect fashion. No issues with the vehicle, no issues with the crew. And the weather at the splashdown site is go.
We're about to lose communication with them for about 6 minutes, in a minute or so. 6-minute communications blackout. Look at the velocity, 24,400 miles per hour. It's going to get up to 24,661, we were told.
Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface.
Crazy video. That data is coming from NASA, the distance and velocity data.
Mark, 1 minute until entry interface. 1 minute, 20 seconds until the expected start of our 6-minute blackout.
Okay.
Integrity, 1 minute to a 6-minute blackout.
See, the speed hit, and then it went down. See that?
Integrity.
It did get to 24,661. Oh, it's above that. Now I don't know if that's accurate, the velocity there. So I'm getting that data
10
from
seconds
NASA.
till entry interface. And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second.
Entering Earth's atmosphere. Entering Earth's atmosphere.
Time to splashdown, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
Wow. This is live video, guys. Live video. Yeah, communications
and as predicted,
blackout.
We've entered our communications blackout. This will be a 6-minute blackout period.
So
no voice, no data from the crew.
I don't even know with that velocity number. That's coming from the NASA site, the velocity number. I don't know if the velocity number I think is
We're
wrong
30
at this
seconds
point.
away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory.
Look at that. So again, the velocity number is coming
and
from
the G5 aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown zone. This view of integrity.
That's integrity right there. You're looking at it live.
So
wow,
that
crazy.
pinpoint of light shows the vehicle as it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st. Four and a half minutes until the end of the blackout period. Time to splash down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds.
And again, I don't know that data is accurate coming from the NASA real-time orbit website, because you see that the miles distance from Earth just went up. So well, I'll keep it up there, but it's showing the distance going up, which is kind of odd. So I don't know how that's working. I might take it off the screen. I'm no longer confident in the NASA website velocity and distance.
The landing and support officer reports that the P3 has acquisition on Integrity.
Yeah, one of the viewers said no contact with it, so maybe it's just estimating or something.
3.5 minutes left in this blackout period.
Oh, look, now that's a visualization. Okay, now they have the numbers up. Look.
The plasma buildup around the spacecraft and the repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield.
So that's a visualization, but they have the numbers in the corner right now that you can see. So 30, but see their numbers from Earth are going up too. So 31 miles and over 25,000 velocity. So again, I don't, maybe it's in communications blackout still. One of the viewers said they turned around. Yeah, I don't think they're going away from Earth.
Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on Integrity.
Good.
Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period.
Aerial assets, maybe they'll show us another.
Splashdown, 9 minutes, 35 seconds.
I'm sure we'll see soon another shot from one of the planes or helicopters of the crew module. All right, so again, I would not trust the data in the bottom right there.
Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on Integrity.
So soon we'll get the live shot from the planes and copters and more accurate data.
And the WB-57 flying in the splashdown zone also has a visual. And the Navy helos also have visuals.
Oh, see, the velocity is going down now. Now the velocity is going down. Look at that velocity.
We're still in the blackout period. Still do not have communications from the crew.
Yeah, sorry. So let's hope we hear from the crew soon. I'm sorry, I don't mean that should be the most important thing. This was a planned 6-minute communications blackout. Any moment now, I guess we should hear from them, because it was about 6 minutes ago. So hopefully we hear from them soon.
We're standing by for communications from the crew. We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
Less than a minute from now. About 7 or 8 minutes until Splashdown. Splashdown's supposed to be at 8:07 Eastern Time.
We are now processing data from Integrity.
What's happening? Let's see. Are we going to get a visual? We're going to get a live visual now. They're processing data from Integrity. Oh, I think I got my data back. No, I don't know.
Landing and support officer reports the small boats are en route to the Splashdown target zone.
Look at this. Is that it? What am I looking at, guys? I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at. Thermal cameras, somebody said? So people said that's a thermal view.
Passing through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views of Integrity. Still
Fantastic.
Waiting to establish voice communication.
Still waiting to hear from the astronauts. Let's hope that's soon.
Integrity, Houston, comm check, post-blackout.
Houston, Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Yay!
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
All right. So we heard from the astronauts.
Guidance looks good.
Everything's looking good.
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman. For America and a waiting world, Integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming
I have
home.
data again. I have data again. There's the data. I got the data back from the NASA site.
Passing 100,000 feet now. Range to Splashdown 19 nautical miles.
I'm hoping that data is accurate. It's coming from the NASA Live real-time orbit website. Look at this.
Integrity impact to the camera controller fail is no Cab 1 views of the chutes.
Something happened with the camera?
Integrity.
We're processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of Integrity, time to Splashdown 4.5 minutes.
Okay, now.
And a view of Integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000 feet.
Wow, incredible, incredible, incredible. It's real. It looks like a movie. It looks like a movie, but it's real.
The pyros
Incredible.
are armed for forward bay cover jettison.
Look at this. Look at this video. What are we going to see? The drogues coming out? Drogue parachutes soon? Drogue parachutes any moment now. There you go. We just saw
there go the first series of parachutes.
Wow.
And we're on drogues.
Drogue parachutes.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
Amazing.
2 good drogue shoots.
Wow.
Next up.
We copy. We see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
So the main parachutes, these will release, I believe, and then we'll get the main parachutes. That will slow it to 20 miles an hour.
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Wow.
Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues.
There go the drogues, and there's the main parachutes, right? I guess, right there. Main parachutes.
Main chute deploy.
Wow.
We're at 5,000 feet.
There you go. Slowing down. How about that?
Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity.
Amazing.
And we have 3 good main chutes.
Incredible.
Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes. Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Look at that video. Look at that video.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board.
Splashdown.
Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds.
Wow.
Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
I don't know what we're seeing at the bottom there. Let's see.
Passing through 1,000 feet.
Any moment now. Any moment now. Look at that. Any moment now.
Integrity, splashdown.
There we go.
Post landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
They have splashed down, and they are back on Earth.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
This is off the coast of San Diego, guys. Off the coast of San Diego.
The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds. And we're configuring for very low data rate. Once again, splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
It's incredible they can make that whole thing work. That thing flew around
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. How else?
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post-landing.
They flew around
Perfect communications established.
A journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
Great.
Houston copies all.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what that means. So stable 1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for Integrity. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a journey around the moon.
No, here we go. Look at this. Our viewer says, what a crazy journey.
We continue to monitor the functioning of the CMOOS system. The airbags are being inflated to maintain a stable 1 or upright configuration. And there's a good view from one of the naval helicopters hovering overhead. Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
I said it before, the guy doing the voice for NASA is very good. I forget what his name is, but he's really good.
Integrity Houston for SAR beacon and radio.
SAR beacon is in for 06, and we're powering the radio now. Go ahead.
We see the beacon on. However, the recovery team is not seeing the signal. Your SAR radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
Okay, copy. And we are also powering up the sat phone now.
So Integrity is in great shape. And as the crew continues its post-splashdown timelined activities on board, Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape. And we have 5 inflated airbags to maintain an upright configuration so that the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start of powering down the vehicle after a thorough systems check. We have no toxic gases to be concerned about. so the recovery personnel can approach the vehicle, but not until we have powered down the spacecraft. That's expected to take a few more minutes.
One of our viewers said, great to see NASA back again.
Integrity back on Earth following its historic flyby of the moon. It was, for all intents and purposes, a textbook mission.
On 28 per hour remain on this frequency.
We copy.
Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid. No issues as we begin the power down of the vehicle to begin the recovery process.
One of our viewers said, we saw history together. Nix Mandela says, good job, humans. We did something positive.
The propulsion officer here in Mission Control reports that we have safed the prop system on Integrity.
Can you say again? That was very weak and broken.
Integrity, Houston did not call.
Copy that, Houston. It might have been on the SAR radio. Stand by.
Oh, look at this. Look at that shot right there. Look at that shot right there. Oh, my gosh. Amazing. Amazing.
All of the milestones were executed in perfect fashion. Integrity entering the Earth's atmosphere right on time, reaching its peak speed shortly after a blackout period began. We emerged from the blackout period, but the recovery imagery airborne assets were able to pick up Integrity's descent almost immediately through entry interface, tracking the vehicle all the way down. And finally, you saw the sequence of chute deployments. First, the forward bay cover being pulled off the top of the vehicle by a series of 3 parachutes. Then the drogue chutes were deployed, followed by the 3 main chutes that slowed the splashdown velocity of Integrity to just 19 miles an hour.
One of the viewers said, come on, CDJ says, come on, boats. It's a crazy video.
Integrity, Houston, with no joy on SAR and SAT phone, we'd like you to command an additional 15 minutes for a total of 30-minute power down delay.
Uh-oh. 30-minute power down delay?
All right, Jackie, we have selected T/D+30. No joy on SAR radio or sat phone. And stand by, we have the master diver on SAR radio. Please hold comms.
Hang on, let's see what happens.
Hey, Lily. Excuse me. Hey, Jackie. We just got the master diver on SAR.
good view of one of the fast boats.
Integrity Houston, if you are happy with your comm with Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle.
We're seeing
which
the
will
boat.
Be the precursor to the recovery teams approaching the spacecraft. There are no issues with Integrity. We've had a bit of broken capability in establishing a SARSAT or satellite phone communications capability between the crew on board Integrity and the recovery team. That will get sorted out here shortly. There's plenty of cooling on board Integrity, so there's no rush to begin the power down.
To call you on the sat phone and not getting an answer there either.
Concur. We haven't had anything come through.
And Houston, if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Look at that. So the people, the search and rescue people, the recovery people can't hear the astronauts. Is that the idea? Look at all the boats.
Houston copies, and Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
Maybe he wasn't using it right. Push to talk is PTT, right?
So as we continue to sort out the communications between Integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of the power down procedures that, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch that will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
Integrity Houston, for sat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
Good idea, standing by.
And Jackie, yes, we are pushing the push to talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up-down arrows. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Okay, we copy all, and just to confirm, you are seeing that you are touchdown plus 3030 for power, correct?
That's affirmative.
Great footage. I'm going to thank a couple people. Thanks so much to Josh Barnes. Thank you, Josh. Food de la Lune, thank you. Cat Order, thank you. Flooring and Meyer from Switzerland.
We are trying a backdoor approach to have Mission Control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are standing by, waiting to close in on Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft that's called the front porch that will be where the astronauts are extracted from so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
Do not reply.
Thanks so much, Florian Meyer in Switzerland. I really appreciate that. Lewis R. Thank you so much, Lewis R., who says, so exciting. Welcome home to the astronauts. Thanks, Josh Barnes. Josh thinks it looks like UAP. Boz Reviews thanks. Beth R. One Way Street, who says, this is fantabulous. Thanks, I'll say M is stupid.
And Houston, please don't
look at
reply.
that. Wow.
NRD, very weak.
Look at that.
Unreadable. Master diver, we can hear, but they cannot hear us.
Oh, they can't communicate with the master diver. The master diver can't hear them. I really want the mission control to say, "You're sure you're pushing the PTT, right? You're sure? You're sure you're pushing it?" They won't say that, though.
Houston on OE1, is there any chance to tie us into NRD?
Oh, got a copter. Just saw a copter fly by.
Checking.
Thank you, CGS7226. Thank you. Firejack. Sarah Jane, thank you. Nikos Kostianis, thank you.
This is Mission Control, Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity and the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Oh, NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman is there.
Hey, Rob, yeah, just such an honor to be able to be here on the ship, to be able to share and experience this moment with everyone together. And of course, as you just said, yes, here with NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Administrator, how did you feel getting to witness this and seeing NASA at its best?
Oh, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, you know, like the childhood Jared right now can't believe what I just saw. I mean, almost been waiting my whole lifetime to see this, and then it's NASA Administrator. I just couldn't be more proud of the entire workforce, the years, the effort, the late nights, all the hard work from across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at the behind us here.
We got everybody. Hey, what do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, to get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So, yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once-in-a-lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once-in-a-lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis 3? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's, you know, part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we are going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis 3. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis 3 is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis 2, and at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis 2, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort. We are returning to the moon. We're doing it to stay. We are building that enduring presence. We are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone. We're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
I have an update
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator Isaacman. We are in the process of working to establish that communications link and to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown that occurred at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. We have once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board. We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down as per the procedures. So we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the side hatch of Integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures. But everything is in great shape, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle. All of the entry events went by the book, no issues, perfect trajectory for Integrity that was culminated with one final raise burn to improve the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation worked like a charm.
I have a quick update I'm going to give you about something else in a second.
So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach Integrity and begin the process of erecting that inflatable raft called the front porch, which will see the crew members be extracted from the hatch of Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape.
So, update about the Iran war. The New York Times is reporting that U.S. officials say to the New York Times that Iran...
So just to recap, it has been...
I'm going to say this quickly.
Some 26 and a half minutes.
The New York Times is reporting that U.S. officials tell them that Iran has been unable to open the Strait of Hormuz to more shipping traffic because Iran cannot locate all of the mines it laid in the waterway and lacks the capability to remove them. Now, I don't know if that's true. Again, this is U.S. officials claiming to the New York Times that Iran has been unable to open the Strait of Hormuz to more shipping traffic because it cannot locate all of the mines it laid in the waterway and lacks the capability to remove them. So, is it true? Is it an excuse? I have no idea. I'm just passing that along. I posted a link to the story on my X account, at Lookner on X. And, but again, I just saw this right now. I wanted to pass it along to you. Sorry to interrupt with this, but I was just checking for updates. So that's being reported tonight.
They're flown back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
Oh, I owe a couple more thank yous. Thanks to Sushi Jezebel for your support. TE88PFCR, thank you, who says, so tired of winning. Red Squirrel, thank you. Frosty, thank you. Kelly for Wood. Fishacat, Philip Nelson, Austin with no. Haley Girl, thank you. BBG for the memberships. John Mahovsky. Also, Cat Hoarder. Foodaloon. I have some more I have to thank here. Hold on a moment. I'm behind on thanking people. Bear with me. I want to thank some people. We're going to have more war updates for you, of course, in this broadcast, and more coverage, of course, of the recovery of the astronauts. Thanks also Joseph Fiorentino, who said, so happy the crew got home safe. Also, thank you to Tox Riso Caroto. Thank you. Sparky Jean says, did they reuse the capsule? Off the top of my head, I'd say no, they would not reuse the capsule, but I'm not positive. Anyone, maybe our viewers, I'm sure some of our viewers know. I don't like to say things when I don't know. Hold on a second here. Orion, I guess, is designed to be partially reusable. That's what I'm reading online. I guess I'm seeing online that certain parts are reusable. Hold on, I'm reading on this. It's partially reusable.
This is Mission Control Houston. After talking to the flight dynamics folks, we have a bit of a refinement on the splashdown time for you. Their computation shows a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time.
Hang on, a crew
that
module
would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Okay, NASA says
Once
on
again,
their...
from Flight Dynamics, a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
So NASA, in a 2022 article on the Orion spacecraft, says that on early flights, high-value crew
Reports,
module components...
from Pacific indicate that the recovery team, in communications with the crew aboard Integrity, that the crew remains in excellent shape as they await the approach of the team for a final hazard gas evaluation before they move to the side of the vehicle to erect the inflatable life raft called the front porch.
NASA says on early flights of the Orion spacecraft, high-value crew module components such as avionics and environmental control and life support systems will be reused, with plans to reuse more components on later missions.
Again, no issues with Integrity. The vehicle is powered down. All of its systems are now safed. We have handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks in the Pacific, but we will not stand down and have the entry flight control team depart its positions until that inflatable raft, the front porch, is erected, the hatch open, and the crew having exited the vehicle. So that's the next step in the recovery process that will lead to the hoisting of the crew members. For 2 crew members for each helicopter, they'll be hoisted to a pair of Navy helicopters that will then fly a short distance back to the USS John P. Murtha.
Thanks so much.
What you're looking at is one of the fast boats circling the vehicle to make a hazard assessment.
Thanks, Jason D. and Jess in California. Philippe Zapata L. Send Cat Pics. Berea Beard. Pyrotechniker Nico. Patty Be Good. Bob Pacheco, thank you. Bob says, nice to see news that is about human achievement, optimism, and unity. Thank you, Martin Ging. D7NRD. Fahrenheit. Waltham, Mass. TE88PFCR. Anti-Antifa, E1991M, thank you, Eliza Jane, HTOAST1AV, Marin Gobra. Speak louder for the people in the back. And also, Fish gave 50 people memberships. Fish9893, that's so nice of you. Make sure you thank somebody if they gave you a membership or a gift subscription. Thank you, Fish. And No Name, thank you. I will try to look up that article, No Name, thank you. No Name, 99995. Fallon for She. Thank you. And Joseph Fiorentino, thank you. Sorry, I was behind on thanking people. Real quick also, over on Twitch, Froggin Blastin, thank you. Asp Axe, Wayne from D6, J Dread 3800, Table Tens, Cece, Kiwi Polson, Space Turkey, Tatsiki, Armageddon, J Dread, T3LBBTX. Thank you. You can see they're right next to it. They're next to it. I know there was some sort of delay because they were having problems communicating with the recovery people from the crew module. I don't know, though. I mean, there's certain things that they have to do before they can get them out of there, and I don't know exactly what all that is. They're supposed to we're supposed to inflate some raft, right? Which hasn't happened yet, I don't think. Yeah, one of the viewers said checking for dangerous gases. Sorry, I might have missed it on the voiceover.
Once again, you're watching the initiation of the recovery of the Artemis crew aboard Integrity. All of the Navy divers and the fast boats are now approaching the spacecraft after conducting a hazard assessment. The vehicle has been powered down. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling now waiting for the life raft, the front porch, to be erected along the side of the vehicle so that the hatch can be opened and the crew members extracted from Integrity, soon to be hoisted one by one into a pair of Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
It looked like you could see one of the guys on the boat.
We talked to Flight Dynamics and received a more official touchdown time.
It looked like one of the guys on the boat was holding out some sort of detector thing. See, he's holding out. Look, I'm not sure. Or maybe a couple of them are holding out some sort of detector things.
That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Some of the viewers say they are gas sensors. A couple of the viewers claim they are selfie sticks. I do not think they are selfie sticks. Hang on a moment. Yeah, they text for, I'm reading online, they test for toxic gases. That's one thing they do. And then, hold on a second here. They had to wait till the till the spacecraft powers down too. That takes some time, I guess.
Continuing to get excellent views from the imagery assets out at sea in the Pacific of Integrity. We continue to get good reports from the landing and support officer, who's in contact with the recovery team, that the crew is in excellent shape, no issues.
Oh,
they're just currently biding their time, waiting for the front porch to be erected. We have no hazardous We have no hazard gases and no hazardous situation with the vehicle. It performed perfectly all the way down from entry interface to its splashdown in the Pacific at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time.
I wasn't saying that it had not powered down.
As you can see, the first phalanx of recovery personnel now pulling up alongside of Integrity.
I was just going over some of the things that once it splashes down need to be done.
This includes Navy divers, a Navy flight surgeon, and other recovery personnel who have trained for several years for this recovery process. This hour, some 41 minutes following splashdown, the vehicle has been powered down. There's no hazardous gas emanating from the vehicle. That's why the first team of recovery personnel has been able to pull alongside Integrity. And the reports continue to come in that the 4 astronauts are in excellent shape. Yes.
Open mic. Appreciate you guys being with us. Let me shout out our moderators. Really appreciate our moderators who are here and who have been here. A lot of people in the chat. Hold on a moment here. Did I thank everybody? Hold on. Hey, Marty Franza. I never thanked Marty Franza. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you, Marty Franza. Also, Fish9893. Really generous of you, Fish. Thank you. Louis R. I'm not sure I thanked Louis, but thank you so much, Louis R. Really appreciate it. Also, I never thanked R. Stanley 1049.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch the initiation of the recovery of Integrity's astronauts. One by one, they'll be brought out of the spacecraft onto a large inflatable raft just a short time from now. In the meantime, we can go back to the USS John P. Murtha, where my colleague Megan Cruz is standing by to provide her situation report. Megan, can you hear us?
Again, R. Stanley 1049. Thank you so much, R. Stanley. I'll thank our mods in a second.
Here on the bow of the recovery ship, where there are still plenty of people peering out into the water. We are not very far from the action everyone is seeing on their screen now. The Orion spacecraft, Integrity, in the ocean, surrounded by a number of recovery boats. As Rob has been saying, in those recovery boats, NASA and Navy personnel specifically trained to get the astronauts out of Orion. Some of our wide shots, you can probably see that there are 6 boats out in the water. More than 40 people out in the water right now on those boats.
One of the viewers said they need cameras on the raft.
Order of business is to set up the front porch and the stabilization collar. You might also hear it referred to as a stab collar. Basically just to make sure that Orion stays upright, doesn't sway in the water too much, again, to make it easier for recovery forces to get the astronauts out. We splashed down in the Pacific Ocean just after 5 p.m. Pacific time here. It's a requirement by NASA to be able to get the crew out of Orion within 2 hours of splashdown. So doing great on time so far. Plenty of time. No rush either. I was speaking to NASA flight surgeon Rick Schuring earlier in this broadcast, and he said to me, no rush to get the crew out. Just want to make sure that they're feeling good. And whenever they're ready to take their step out of Orion and onto that large raft, the front porch, folks will be ready. As there are mission audio loops in Mission Control in Houston, there is a mission audio loop here on the ship, and it was just reported out that the side hatch is open.
Nice.
Side hatch of integrity is open. You're getting these beautiful shots from our aerial assets. The ship itself, where I'm on, just 3,000 yards away. Again, plenty of people on the boat here, glued to the side closest to where they can see all this action. And again, with just 3,000 yards separating us, great views from the bow here. You can see now that side hatch is open. One of the Navy personnel is about to get inside there. They go. In total, 4 will go into Orion. So it'll be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but the goal is to have a recovery personnel with each astronaut assessing them. Getting closer now. Again, that one that's right up against Orion, those are the divers that will go in to the spacecraft to check on each of the astronauts. These other boats will begin doing a number of things, putting on that stabilization collar onto Orion, building that front porch. Eventually, they will retrieve the parachutes, well as tow Orion back to the well deck of the recovery ship here. So as we wait for the Navy and NASA personnel to get their assessment of the crew inside of Orion, why don't we toss it back to Rob for an update?
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Here in Mission Control, Flight Director Rick Henfling and the entry team of flight controllers still on duty. The vehicle has been powered down for some time now. There are no hazardous gases emanating from integrity. That, of course, allowed the recovery personnel to approach the vehicle and then open the hatch to begin the initial medical assessment of the crew, as you just indicated. Now we're standing by for the erection of that inflatable raft, the front porch, alongside of the vehicle that will enable the crew to be extracted one by one onto the raft, have a moment or two to get their land legs back before they're hoisted into two hovering Navy helicopters, 2 crew members for each helicopter, for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. All of Integrity's systems operated flawlessly throughout the course of the approach to the Earth, the entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and all of the key milestones that followed in this high-speed return to Earth for Integrity, a mission that spanned more than 694,000 miles from the vehicle's launch from the Kennedy Space Center atop the Space Launch System back on April 1st.
I just another quick update. Maybe some of you had seen this. I missed this yesterday. CBS News reports that the U.S. has lost 24 MQ-9 Reaper drones during the Iran war in the Middle East. They say that those 24 drones lost represent a loss of about $720 million, because a single Reaper drone can cost about $30 million or more.
As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the last time that the Apollo program saw a splashdown in the Pacific was Apollo 17 back on December 19th, 1972. So for the first time in some 53 and a half years, we have reenacted that with the arrival of Integrity's astronauts as they flew around the moon in that historic lunar flyby that began with a trans-lunar injection burn that took them out of Earth orbit following 24 hours of a high Earth orbit trajectory. The high Earth orbit trajectory enabled flight controllers here to have a full 24 hours to evaluate the systems on Integrity and the condition of the crew before they would commit to flying to the moon.
By the way, shout out to our moderators. I really appreciate all of our moderators who have been here during the broadcast. We've had a lot of people chatting in our chat rooms over there on Twitch. Bastion Girl, LB Prairie Dawn, Matthew Kohai 3, Mick Bridges, and Sarah. Linda Belklari and Misha moderate for us on X. Paul Anderson, Kay Larry Body, Margaret Riley on Facebook. And Andrea Holder. Roberts, May Queen, and Ruth on YouTube. Thanks for modding there. Really appreciate all of our moderators. Waiting for the crew extraction. People want to see the crew. Hopefully soon we will see the crew. Are they okay? Yes. Word is the crew is doing great. Donna Simmons says, great to see this. Something good for a change. That's from our viewer, Donna Simmons. One of our viewers asked if it's when it lands, is it hot for the crew? I mean, I know it's powered on, so I assume they would have some kind of cooling going on in there. I would assume. It's a good question. I mean, it's certainly on the outside, it's extraordinarily hot coming down. But again, they're not burning up when they come in. So I don't know exactly what the cooling system is like on board. Now, one of our viewers said the suits they wear cool them down. Yeah, some of our viewers are saying their suits cool them. Arlie says the insulation is out of this world.
With the side hatch of Orion having been opened to set the stage for the erection of the inflatable life raft, known as the front porch, to be erected alongside the spacecraft for the extraction of the crew. Let's play for you an interview that my colleague Megan Cruz conducted on the USS John P. Murtha with Navy diver First Class David McMahon that explains how this process is unfolding.
Oh, okay. Listen to this. Let's listen to they'll explain.
David, so you and some of your team, one last look over of the stabilization collar, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is this stabilization collar?
This is what's going to stabilize the capsule out there in the ocean. We don't know how good the weather or the waves will be that day, so this will help prevent any unnecessary occurrences from happening, stabilizing the capsule and the astronauts inside.
So basically this is a float that will go around Orion. I'm assuming that what they're doing right now, these are the lines that will attach the collar onto Orion?
That is correct.
And so what are they doing here?
So we've got the lower line that will secure the inflation device before we inflate it. That gives us the go-ahead that it's secure in its place, and then we'll inflate it. And then once that is done, we'll undo all the carabiners and get this orange line on top tied in the same fashion. And then this will be secured to the capsule, and the astronauts can safely take their first steps out of the capsule onto the front porch.
Okay, and how long will it take them to set up the stabilization collar?
We should definitely be able to handle this in under 10 minutes.
Okay, wow. And then you just mentioned the front porch. So basically, after they set up the stabilization collar, then they set up what's called the front porch here.
That's correct.
Okay, and what's the front porch?
Front porch is basically a bigger waiting room for the astronauts to sit in while we wait for the helicopters to show up and grab them.
Okay, so the medical team that was inside with the crew, they're going to help them out and onto the front porch?
That is correct.
And then what happens here?
We have higher trained medical personnel also on board the front porch that will give them lookovers and just make sure they're okay while we wait for the helicopters to show up.
Okay. How does it feel, I mean, your team, you, to be part of a mission that's returning astronauts from the moon in more than 50 years?
We all feel extremely honored to be a part of this, as well as a bigger mission for the Navy and joining up with NASA to do great things.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you and your team are ready?
Yes, very ready.
Cool. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, the recovery operations are continuing out in the Pacific. We shortly should see that life raft, the front porch, erected alongside the side hatch of the vehicle.
Hey, what happened to the sound? Where'd the sound go? I didn't touch it.
A number of flight controllers have come into the flight control room to receive congratulations from Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling. But we're going to stick with our operations out in the Pacific as we await the extraction of the 4 crew members who are reported to be in excellent condition.
I mean, when you look at that, they were on that thing, all 4 of them were on that thing for 10 days. It's not that big. Now, also, though, so
again,
they
while
have
we stand by for that front porch to be erected alongside of the side hatch of the vehicle, let's go back to the USS John.
There's also the service module. The service modules, can they go in the service module? That's extra space for them, maybe? The service module, which separates right before they re-enter. So there's that too. But I don't know what the service. I have to look that up.
Some internal audio loops again.
Is the toilet in the service module correct?
With everyone out on the water, it seems like currents are hindering them a little bit from unfurling and inflating the stabilization collar as well as the front porch. But again, the requirement to get the crew out within 2 hours of splashdown, plenty of time. So no concerns just yet. But as calm as the water looks, yeah, it looks like it's hindering the teams just a tad. You can see in some of our shots that side hatch still open. Again, inside there are now 8 people inside. 4 divers, Navy divers, all with medical training, each assigned to an astronaut each. Making sure that they're comfortable, feeling good. As you've heard us say in the broadcast, they expect a little bit of discomfort. Again, these astronauts just traveled back to Earth at 25,000 miles an hour, a nearly 695,000 mile journey around the moon. If you think you get car sick.
I am reading
out there. Lots of
I am reading online.
Right?
I have to confirm this, but I'm reading something that says that the crew does not actually go in the service module.
In case they weren't, right? NASA is all about making sure we think about every situation that can happen. And so, of course, wanted to be ready in case any of our astronauts needed more medical attention while out there in the water. You see now teams again trying to set up the stabilization collar and front porch for the crew to get out of Orion. They need both, right? The stabilization collar will keep Orion from swaying as you see it is doing now. And then they will connect to the front porch to the stabilization collar so that the crew can take 2 steps and they will be in the front porch. Chatter on the mission audio loops, that's a good thing. Again, things proceeding pretty nominally. even if they're fighting some currents out there on the Pacific Ocean. Again, the goal, setting up the stabilization collar and the front porch so that the crew can rest comfortably in the front porch, get placed into harnesses so that 2 helicopters can lift them off the front porch and onto the USS John Murtha here. The helicopters are going to take turns picking up an astronaut. So again, Helo 1 and Helo 2. Okay, and the recovery team here on the ship just got a report from the undersea medical officer who is inside the capsule with the crew. He is reporting all 4 members are green. All of our 4 astronauts, Reed, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, green, meaning they are feeling great.
That's awesome.
The complexion of their skin. They are feeling great, happy to be home, and ready to be extracted as soon as possible.
President Trump said congratulations to the great, very talented crew of Artemis 2. The entire trip was spectacular. The landing was perfect. And as President of the United States, I could not be more proud.
2 helicopters circling the activity you're seeing on the water right now. Each will take turns picking up an astronaut. So Helo 1 will come on in, hover above the front porch, about 40 feet above the front porch. A Navy recovery specialist will be hoisted down into the front porch.
The restricted maneuvering doctrine is in effect.
Will connect to the first astronaut, which we're expecting to be Christina.
So they just take him by helicopter.
And then Helo 2 comes around, picks up Jeremy, while Helo 1 stays above head. And then Helo 1 will come back in for another astronaut, and then Helo 2 for the last astronaut, and then back to the flight deck here on the recovery ship. I was talking to Assistant Artemis Recovery Director Paul Sierpinski. He said helos are a much quicker, safer way to get on board. They did actually consider boats, but then if you think about it, longer time, the crew would have to move through more of the ship. This way the helos will give a more direct, quicker route to the medical bay for our 4 astronauts.
So I think these, on Flight Radar 24, I think you can see the helicopters.
Aerial and imagery teams.
This is the most tracked flight on Flight Radar 24. It's a helicopter off the coast of California.
For a clear view.
My guess is that's one of the helicopters there. You can see several helicopters on Flight Radar 24. Here's a different one. 3 different helicopters there.
Still see divers in the water there. Encircling Orion, that is that stabilization collar we've been telling you about. As you saw in that interview just a few minutes ago, they have to first connect it to Orion, and then once it's secured onto Orion, they can inflate it, and then they'll further secure it with other harnesses and lines. About an hour and 10 minutes since splashdown in the Pacific Ocean here.
So I know when we've covered SpaceX,
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy back home.
Like we've definitely covered SpaceX
mission to the moon and back.
Missions where the capsule lands and then they take the capsule out of the water and they put it on a ship, right? If I remember right, because I remember seeing like on SpaceX ones where the capsule would be raised onto the ship and then the astronauts would walk out. So this is different. This they're going to take them out by helicopter.
In Orion, reporting all 4 crew members feeling great. Progress being made there on the stabilization collar. It looks like they are beginning to inflate it.
Because there's that shot I know where you're on the ship and you see them one by one literally walk out of the capsule on the SpaceX mission sometimes.
The front porch in order to get that into the water here shortly and inflate that as well.
I don't know the whys of the difference of the recovery technology. It just
again, more than
I was
40
remembering
people
that
out in the water right now.
Martin Ging says SpaceX does it with a big arm
those
thingy.
Navy and NASA personnel have been in the water for now about 4 hours. The reason why they had to get out so early is just to stage everything. And actually here on the ship, when there are flight operations happening, you can't have anything else, right? Just because
okay,
the flight deck can be a dangerous place, so they just want to focus on planes coming and going from the ship, so that's why they wanted to get the boats in the water.
So they have the capsule on top of that raft thingy.
They have all the time they needed for the
and they're
flight
pulling up the other raft thingy.
And then the same crew here out in the water, they will stay out in the water for a number of hours after we recover the crew and get them back on the ship, because then they have to recover Orion.
A front porch. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the specifics. We saw them talking about it. They did an interview about it. I don't remember the details.
Looking good around Orion.
So I'm calling it the raft thingy.
Some recovery personnel getting on to that collar. Again, they need to further attach it to Orion to make sure that it can really prop up the spacecraft. It's basically lifting it up off of the water just a tad. Again, so it's not so...
They're a little ways from land right now.
So it doesn't sway so much in the water there.
I mean, if you told me they were 50 miles offshore, I'd believe you. I'm just eyeballing it on Flight Radar 24, but judging from Flight Radar 24, they're dozens of miles off the coast.
Fully inflated as well.
Darcy thinks it's 60 miles.
Surface area.
I wonder if you can tell on marine traffic, but Darcy thinks it's like 60 miles. Let me check marine traffic too and see.
And so once the crew get out of Orion, they can stretch their legs a little bit on this front porch, get some fresh air.
I mean, according to marine traffic, that ship...
Enjoy this beautiful day here.
The John P. Murphy is about 50 miles from the coast. Our viewer, NY Mets Win, says...
Teams now are about to connect the front porch to the stabilization collar.
NY Mets Win WS says the fresh air must feel amazing.
And at that point, when both are secure, we should soon see astronauts come out of Orion.
All right, let's see. It's pretty cool. I think they were showing it at the Mets game. I just saw a video online where they were showing. I think they showed it live at the Mets game on the scoreboard when it touched down.
All these views you see also being fed to the Landing Force Operations Center here on the ship. Of course, it is very important for our recovery teams leading the mission to have all the views that you're seeing as well. Again, listening to their communication loop here on the ship. Very quiet, which is a good thing. It means things are going pretty nominally, meaning as expected. All this activity happening just 3,000 yards away from the ship. So that means this will be a very quick flight back on the helicopters for the crew. 2-3 minutes, and then they'll be back here on the ship.
I know.
Okay, saw a thumbs up one of the personnel on the front porch. It looks like they are now getting ready to deploy what they call the Air Rescue Vest, ARV. And so this is the harness that each crew member will get into in order to be hoisted into the helicopters. Again, those helicopters hovering just about 40 feet above the front porch when they're ready to pick up each crew member.
This is Mission Control Houston. Behind me, a fairly raucous scene as hundreds of flight controllers have poured into the flight control room here. This is reminiscent of the scene after the final shuttle mission of STS-135, although that was the end of a program. This is only the beginning of a program with the textbook splashdown of integrity and its 4 astronauts. We're standing by for the crew to be extracted from the spacecraft. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling invited all of these flight controllers who have contributed to this mission to enter the flight control room to have an opportunity to receive well wishes and to share the mutual glow that exists in the wake of a textbook mission for integrity. On the front screen here in Mission Control, a sign that says "Welcome Home Integrity, taking humanity back to the moon, going further, and returning safely to Earth." So all of that jubilation, part of the post-splashdown activities, even as we await the crew being extracted from the vehicle to be hoisted onto Navy helicopters for the trip back to the USS John P. Murtha.
I should change the headline. Artemis crew exits spacecraft after splashdown.
Once again here in Mission Control, this view of the Artemis Flight Control Room, known as the White Flight Control Room. This is the old shuttle flight control room, and now is the home of Artemis missions to the moon and beyond. Once again, quite a few flight controllers were invited in by Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling to share in the jubilation following the successful splashdown of Integrity. That splashdown occurring an hour and 22 minutes ago, as we stand by for the completion of the extraction of the crew, and ultimately they're hoisting onto Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the USS John P. Murtha. Splashdown occurred at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. I had an opportunity to talk to the head of Flight Dynamics, Jeff Birch, a moment or two ago. He said the trajectory of Integrity coming through the Earth's atmosphere was so precise, they've never seen anything line up on a ground track like today's entry by Integrity for its splashdown southwest of San Diego. And the initial, you can hear it.
There we go.
Jubilation here in the flight control room. The first crew member is out of Integrity.
I'm trying to see the person.
We are expecting the other crew members momentarily to be extracted.
There's one. Okay. There's two. I see two. Two orange suits. Very cool. Very cool.
We now have two crew members out.
I think it's orange suits.
Two crew members out, two to go. about 1 hour from sunset out in the Pacific. Everything continues to go well. Integrity's systems function perfectly during its entry back to Earth. And Reed Wiseman, the commander who will be last out of the vehicle, reported that all the crew members were feeling very well.
Is that the third right there? Right there, right there. See? Third, number 3. There's number 3.
Crew member number 3 now out. And now standing by for the commander, Reed Wiseman, who will be last out of his ship. Bobbing in the Pacific under almost ideal conditions, Integrity spanned 694,000 miles during its journey from launch to splashdown.
Michelle says, must be so weird experiencing gravity now. What an experience to go on the trip around the moon, and you're looking at Earth from a distance from space, and then you come all the way back. Unbelievable.
And we now have Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle. All 4 crew members now out of Integrity.
Very good.
Once again, all 4 crew members now on the front porch, and the procedure to begin hoisting them up to these 2 Navy helicopters hovering overhead will begin shortly.
Very cool. Very cool. Great work by NASA, getting them all back safely. Artemis 3 right now is scheduled for 2027. And then Artemis 4, I mean, it's scheduled for 2028. Unclear if it'll happen. Then Artemis 4 is when you're supposed to have men return to the surface, humans return to the surface of the moon. Wow. Break says, I hope it happens.
This is Mission Control Houston.
There they are.
The mission is over, but the melody lingers on as jubilation continues here in the flight control room. We should be expecting NASA's Associate Administrator, Amit Kshatriya, to be joining us shortly for a short interview while the recovery operations continue out in the Pacific. So we'll stand by for that. And then we'll turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha.
Oh, because remember, the reporter is on the ship. The ship is about, what they say, 3,000 meters from the spacecraft. It's not. But I mean, maybe we'll see the camera. We'll get the camera on the ship to show us the helicopters as they land on the ship. 3,000 yards, somebody said, because there is a camera on the ship. Thank you, Ben Van, for watching.
This is Mission Control Houston here in the Artemis Flight Control Room. A number of flight controllers basking in the glory of the successful end of this mission that carried 4 astronauts around the moon on a lunar flyby, and the first test flight of Orion with crew members on board. Splashdown occurring an hour and 32 minutes ago after a flawless descent back into the Earth's atmosphere for the vehicle. Its 4 crew members in good shape, simply enjoying their time right now on the front porch, as it were, the inflatable raft alongside of their Integrity spacecraft. We're expecting Amit Kshatriya, the NASA Associate Administrator, to join us here momentarily for a brief interview before we turn it back over to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, the recovery ship.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing if, what we'll see when they get back on the ship. One of the viewers had hoped they let them shower and have a hot meal. Appreciate all of you being with us tonight for the coverage.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're about an hour and 34 minutes since the textbook splashdown of Integrity in the Pacific to bring home our astronauts. And with us now is Amit Kshatriya, the NASA Associate Administrator. Amit, a little bit of history made tonight, a little bit of history made over the past few weeks. Your thoughts as this team here basks in the glow of what they just accomplished?
Yeah, Rob, we're here in the control center, and it's kind of overrun with jubilant folks in the mission control, Houston, as well as engineering, and folks that just want to be here, part of it, as we watch our crew get extracted from the vehicle. And my thought is always about these teams, the team that's in the water right now pulling the crew out, the team here in Houston that worked so hard over the last 10 days, no sleep to get this done. We still have some work to do to get the crew to the med bay here on the ship. They all look great coming out, so hopefully that won't be too long. I think we saw the administrator on the boat too, giving his thanks to the Navy team on the Mirtha, which they're just an incredible group of sailors. I was able to visit with them a couple weeks ago. And then if you pull it all the way back to the workers and the folks that joined the rocket at Michoud, that made the heat shield tiles that held together tonight, that stacked the vehicle in Florida, that integrated the vehicle in Denver, that fired the engines in Stennis, that fired the boosters in Promontory. I mean, this is the entire team, coming together and being tested by the environment that this machine went through, and they did it right. The work was good. They did it right.
You've said in a number of briefings, of course, and in other forums that this is just the first step. The cadence has to step up, as the administrator has indicated. Now, it's a little early for the full report card on how Integrity did, but did this mission ultimately, from your eyes' view, exceed expectations?
It absolutely did. I mean, I was waiting to talk about this until we were in the water, and I think we still have, again, work to do to bring it in and really kind of go through it bolt by bolt and see what we learned. But I mean, so far, given what we learned during the mission and given how we performed on ascent, on entry, I always think about energy in terms of the states that you worry about the most. And every time we put these machines through these incredibly energetic states, they came through. So I'm fairly confident that we made a big step tonight to get us on the path towards the surface. I think the path to the surface is open now. We do have to do all the work, and we'll make sure we talk about that as cleanly as we can. We learned a few things during the mission, but I have to tell you, this was an incredible test of an incredible machine.
From an American psyche standpoint, the Empire State Building was lit up red, white, and blue tonight. Our coverage was seen on baseball stadiums around the major leagues. How captivating was this experience for the American people, for the world, in fact, as we returned to the moon?
I have not been able to watch a lot of the coverage as we've progressed through the mission. I will tell you, just from my witness in Florida before launch, and then seeing the people's faces here, and then reading where I can about how things are going. I think this has been a gift to the world from NASA. NASA has given the world a gift, proving to folks all over the place, especially young people, and that to me is what this is really about. Young people, when they see what we can do when we work together, when we have teams that collaborate, that it doesn't matter how hard the problems are, we can solve them. I'm hopeful that Artemis 2, as folks witness what we were able to do with this incredible crew, this incredible team that we've birthed into the world, scientists and engineers and artists that have been inspired by this. And even if they don't come work in the program, which separately they should come work in the program because Lord knows we need the help, but even if they don't want to come work in the program, hopefully they grow up to recognize they can do amazing things when they work together and contribute to society and be good citizens and really change the way, the challenges that are coming in the world are overcomable if we work together like this.
And one final question. Flying to the moon, we did it. We've done it again this past week and a half or so. But the engineering that went behind the design of this mission and the precision, the pinpoint precision of this vehicle entering that entry corridor, it's almost mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is incredible when you think about the energies involved and the uncertainties involved. That when we inserted the vehicle into orbit, it was 99.2% down the middle. When we dropped the vehicle right on top of the fleet here, our guys knew exactly where to go, but the guidance was perfect. And it's interesting. I've got this question a lot over the last few weeks about, we did this before 53 years ago, and that. It is a reasonable thing to contemplate, like what's gone on since then. And what I'd tell you is, when we did Apollo, which again, the more we learn about what they did, the more magical it seems what they were able to accomplish given the technology and the learnings that they had. But when we did Apollo, the architects of Apollo,
hey,
Gilbert,
look,
Seaman, von
check
Braun,
this out.
Mueller,
Check this out.
What they really, really wanted to do,
wow,
as they were contemplating what it meant to expand our range of
all
action
right,
to the
they're
lunar
picking
surface,
up. They're picking up the crew.
Learn how to live and work in space for a long time. They wanted to do that first before they were confident they could expand
We need
their
the
range of action to
natural
the
audio.
moon. Now, of course,
unfortunately,
the politics of the time and the mission at the time was different, and so they had to go straight to the moon and bring people home. And then after that, the program kind of lost its momentum.
They are taking the crew one by one to the boat,
NASA
to the
kept
recovery
moving along
boat.
those paths, right? So we recognize.
I got to turn the interview down. They're taking the crew one by one to the recovery boat, which is pretty close to there. I believe they said something like 3,000 yards or something like that. But it's a short ride to the recovery boat. But they're picking up one at a time.
Now, 53 years later, we're at the point.
It's interesting they don't just bring them over by boat to the recovery boat. Anyway, I'm sure they have their reasons.
To stay because we've learned all the things we needed to learn.
There's a lot of people pleased here tonight, and we really thank you for joining us. Amit Kshatriya, NASA's Associate Administrator, as we begin to hoist the crew onto the helicopters to head back to the recovery ship. Thank you very much, and congratulations, Amit.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. That's one of the astronauts, right? Am I right about this? Wow. Amazing.
This is Mission Control Houston, with the crew members now beginning to be hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters. Let's go to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, who will take it from here.
Hey, Rob. Yeah, back on the bow of the ship here, we are seeing the helicopters circling Orion. The first one there, having just completed picking up the first astronaut.
This is amazing.
Helo 2 now.
Look at this.
Hovering just 40 feet above the front porch, lowering a recovery specialist out of the helicopter. That person will touch down in the front porch just there. The crew members already outfitted with a harness that will allow them to quickly attach to the hoisting device. Look at the power of those blades throwing water out at the center there. The front porch with now 3 astronauts and the recovery specialists. Again, crews already outfitted with a harness vest. And here we go. Second astronaut now off the front porch, getting hoisted into the second helicopter. Helicopter will now hover just a distance away to give room for the first helicopter to come back and pick up the third astronaut. As we wait for that helicopter to come back, make its way back around, just want to mention that the President of the United States called our NASA administrator today while he was on the ship, just minutes after we interviewed him live on our coverage, and congratulated him and NASA on this history-making moment tonight. Helicopter 1 again hovering 40 feet over the front porch. We will soon see another recovery specialist getting lowered onto the front porch. Wow, imagine sitting on that front porch, the wind, the water. But again, the recovery team determined that a helicopter flight back to the ship here would be safer, faster, and more comfortable for our crew, who just completed a 10-day mission around the moon.
It's amazing.
In the air.
Look at how they get there.
Getting hoisted quickly back into the first helicopter now.
Wow.
That first helicopter now on its way back to the ship here. We will soon see it land in just a few minutes. Again, all this action happening just 3,000 yards away from us, so a very quick flight back to the flight deck. And now the only person left on the front porch, Commander Reed Wiseman.
Tina Marie says they have an exciting life.
Back over to the front porch. Here it comes. Making its final approach here.
It's like do they even go inside? Oh, now, yeah, they're getting up in there. Okay.
The last astronaut.
Well, I don't know. I mean, they're still outside. Takes them a while to get inside.
Now off the front porch and almost into the second helicopter. Both now on their way back to the ship where we are, the USS John P. Murtha, just west of San Diego in the Pacific Ocean.
Oops, sorry for the typo. There is a typo in the headline. It's not astronauts.
Exciting to see our 4 crew members minutes away from landing on the flight deck here on the recovery ship. 550 people on this ship. Excited, ready, anxious, looking forward to welcoming this crew aboard. Watching them now with our own eyes. Close to the ship here. Hearing them begin to hover on the flight deck, which is just across from us, here on the bow. The first helicopter coming in.
Look at this. Hold on. Look at this. Wow. We got the camera right there. The camera is right there.
Wheels down. Wheels down of the first helicopter carrying 2 of our Artemis II crew. Pilot Victor Glover and mission specialist Christina Cook. Hilo 1 on deck reported on the recovery loop. Again, the mission audio loops that the recovery team are using here to communicate with one another. And an announcement just made on the ship, integrity incoming. 2 more helicopters on their way to the flight deck, one carrying the crew, the other, one of our imagery helicopters. Again, kudos to our imagery and aerial teams for giving us these beautiful views of history in the making. Set amid a gorgeous, soon-to-be sunset here.
Look at that.
In the Pacific Ocean.
The USS John P. Murtha.
Second helicopter. Making its approach of the flight deck. have people here on the bow with their cell phones out, filming this moment.
Wow.
Some impressive flying here by the Navy, as we are seconds away from wheels down. And there you go. We now have all 4 Artemis II crew members on the USS John P. Murtha. I'm sure they're happy to be out of the water and on this recovery ship with, again, 550 people on board, ready to welcome them home. But first, as we've been saying throughout the broadcast, just making sure the crew feel good. We reported that they were feeling good when they were in Orion, but those were just initial, quick, verbal assessments of how they're feeling. Their destination tonight, the medical bay here on the ship, right after we power down the helicopters here.
I think they may be in the one on the right.
The team on the flight deck, working quickly but methodically. Waiting for just one more helicopter to touch down.
Yeah.
Very limited personnel here on the flight deck.
Restricted maneuvering doctrine is in effect.
As that third helicopter touches down.
Hold all trash and garbage on station. Flight quarters.
While just a few folks on the flight deck itself, there are plenty more on some upper decks. I see in some of our views a very packed crowd overhead. Announcements being made over the ship's loudspeaker system, reminding folks to stay clear of operational areas like the flight deck, so that teams can work quickly to get the crew off of the helicopters and into the medical bay. Splashdown today, 5:06 p.m. Pacific time. We are within 2 hours of that splashdown time, and already we have all 4 crew members on the flight deck of the USS John P. Murtha. Again, crew waiting before getting out for the helicopters to completely shut down. Safety, of course, very important to NASA and the U.S. military. So we'll wait just a couple of minutes here before we start seeing crew members walk off the helicopters one by one.
All right. As one of our viewers said, the engines are off. So hang on a moment here. We're going to see the astronauts come out soon. By the way, thanks so much to Lobster Bobster and Kaz Michelle and Raiderette Simpson. Thank you, Raiderette Simpson. Also, TE88 PFCR for the memberships. Thank you. Thanks also, Martin Ging. Thank you, Ramen in my tum tum. Oh, there we go. Look, we got...
All right, and now here we see pilot Victor Glover.
There he is. There's Victor Glover.
And mission specialist Christina Cook sitting on the edge.
Oh, I guess she's there too.
One of the helicopters looking in great spirits. That familiar smile and laugh from Victor, I can see it from here. Christina, I'm sure, feeling the same way. Just blocked a little bit by our camera here, but we'll see her here shortly. A photographer taking their pictures. Victor saluting folks on the flight deck. They look like they're in great spirits. Happy to be home, I'm sure. If you're sitting at home, I hope you too are wondering, what would you want to ask them if you got a chance to talk to them? Because that is what I'm thinking about.
I guess she's going to talk to them.
Getting the opportunity to talk to or ask questions of these 4 astronauts who just made history as the first crew to return to the moon since 1972.
Thanks, Marcus, Plane Spotting Germany. Appreciate it. Wolfie Live. Thank you, Wolfie Live.
Oh, Pete. There we see Christina there, also smiling, finally peering out, waving at the cameras. Hello to you too, Christina, yes. Welcome back. Welcome, welcome home. A loudspeaker announcement on the ship saying, "Welcome home, Integrity."
Thanks to our viewer Pete the Pot Pusher and Kazzy Michelle, or Kaz Michelle.
I can't see who he's talking to, but I kind of think that he might be talking to his other 2 crew members. Shouting from across the flight deck, congratulations to one another.
Thanks also Oxytropis, The Nugget Doctrine, Tech Slug, Froggin Bloston, Asp Axe.
And so now
on
we
Twitch.
see some Navy personnel walking up to the helicopter. This is again the first helicopter carrying pilot Victor Glover and mission specialist Christina Cook. Both have taken off their helmets now.
Thanks also Wayne from D6, Table 10s, CC, thank you.
Some pictures, video to catalog this historic moment. A beautiful sunset just behind them here in the Pacific Ocean. Golden hour. These pictures will be beautiful. Now we see NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. He is on the flight deck, as well as Flight Surgeon Rick Schuring walking over to Victor and Christina first. We saw the administrator walk over to the other helicopter, which is carrying Commander Reed Weissman and Mission Specialist Jeremy Hansen. We heard from Rick earlier in the broadcast. Again, he said he's going to be out there on the flight deck to do another initial assessment of the crew, ask them how they're feeling, anything bothering them. But again, from what I'm seeing, they look like they're in great spirits and feeling pretty good for folks who just traveled 695,000 miles from Florida to the moon and now here to the Pacific Ocean. seeing NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman walking across the flight deck. He had been talking to Reed and Jeremy, now approaching Victor and Christina. A hug from Victor, a hug from Christina.
I think maybe they're going to get in. They're going to interview the astronauts together in a second. That's what it seems like. That's what I'm waiting for. Sounds like they'll interview.
Congratulatory words. You know, we got to speak to the administrator live on this broadcast as well, and he said the kid in him right now, giddy, absolutely giddy at what we were able to accomplish today. Returning them home safely and in good spirits after a 10-day mission around the moon. And here we go. We're seeing Jeremy walking, waving across the flight deck, now on his way to the medical bay.
Oh, maybe it won't be soon. I don't think they'll interview them right now. Maybe later.
It's a short walk, less than a minute. Again, that's why the recovery team decided to use helicopters to get them on the flight deck for that short walk to medical bay.
Wyatt says no interviews
and now on the
until
flight deck, we see the chief of the astronaut office, Scott Tingle. Rick Schuring switching places. He's going over to the other helicopter. Big hugs from Victor, Christina to Scott. Again, a gorgeous sunset setting the stage for this recovery tonight. All right, and now here we are, Christina, making her way, looking thankful, grateful, happy to be home.
Cool.
You can see she's looking up. Again, lots of people, just a few levels up off the flight deck, welcoming her home. Scott holding the door like a gentleman, but back on his way to the other crew still on the flight deck.
It's too bad they don't have any kind of close-ups. I mean, this camera's pretty far away. It doesn't really zoom in much, you know. We haven't seen any kind of close-up of them at all. Not when they were getting off the ship or anything.
Victor Glover and Reed Weissman.
Criddle thinks it's odd that they don't. I actually do think it's odd that they don't. I think it's a good thing for NASA that they do. It's good publicity for NASA for people to be able to see them, you know? They don't need to, you know,
across the flight deck.
Show them all, but I assume it seems like they feel fine and they're in good spirits.
Applauding. Victor applauding for all the folks on the ship with him who played a role in their safe return today.
In the SpaceX, when they show like the Dragon capsule and they'll have a close-up of the person getting out, it's a very cool shot. It's really neat to see them.
And finally, just one Artemis II crew member left on the flight deck, Commander Reed Weissman. Applause from the group there on the flight deck, I'm sure, as well as on the level just above them, packed with people. Reed looking good as he takes his steps towards the medical bay.
They are off the deck of the ship.
See our 4 Artemis II crew members back on the ship. Again, now they will head into medical bay, where they will be assessed by flight surgeons from both NASA as well as the Canadian Space Agency. A more in-depth assessment. When they get to medical bay, they will each have their own nurse. They will be helped out of their suits. And then again, we'll check to see that they're feeling good. Make sure it's not just adrenaline, but that they are feeling good from their long journey back from the moon. Beautiful shot of that sunset, illuminating our flight deck. And now with our astronauts safely on board, I want to welcome on Artemis Recovery Director Lily Villarreal. Lily, I don't know how you must be feeling right now. Ecstatic, relieved?
So ecstatic, relieved. Of course, we still have to bring the capsule into the well deck of the ship, but this is a major milestone to have the crew here on the ship.
I want to take some comments from you guys. I want to take a few comments. Hey, thanks, by the way, to Red Squirrel and Reddy Samedi and Sean C. and Skylark and T. Willow for the memberships. Also, Holy Toads, thank you so much. And says, glad they finally got back to Earth. And also Wolfie Live, who says, Reed is such an inspiring man. His wife passed a few years ago back from cancer, single father, and still went to the moon. Incredible all around. Let's see here. Amy Driscoll says, that was amazing. We all just watched history in the making. Deadwing says, must be nice to leave Earth for 10 days. Let's see here. Yeah, we're going to have some war updates. Veronica says, bet they can't wait to get those suits off. Our viewer Neo Dark Stoic says that was super cool. Frapp says, it's been 10 days. They probably don't feel or look their best, even if they are in good spirits. Anita Edwards says they are walking well considering. Salvation for Israel says, so glad to see them able to walk so well already. HCH says, this was incredible. Can you imagine Artemis 4 is supposed to be humans going to the surface of the moon? What I'm going to do, because I want to talk about the war some, is, so I'm going to take about 5 minutes. I'm just going to maybe have a bowl of cereal or something because I haven't eaten. And then, I ate something before the stream, but we've been on for a number of hours. So let me take about 5 minutes or so, and I'll leave this up. And then when I come back, we can talk more about the war stuff. Okay? How does that sound? Does that sound fair? So I'll leave the footage up. Let's, and I'll just say, Steve will be back in around 5 minutes. Give me about 5 minutes or so, and I'll leave this up. And then when I come back, we will talk about the war.
Again, we have to recover the capsule. I want to make sure we don't forget about Orion.
Lily's all about business. She's thinking about what's next. But yeah, speaking of these 10 days, I mean, we have been along for the journey with them, live with them 24/7 for 10 days, and just really seeing the engagement that we've gotten from around the world. What do you hope people take away from this mission?
I think that's fantastic. So, my story was that I went to the Kennedy Space Center. I was born in Colombia. I was 10 years old when we moved to the United States, but when I was 7, my family took me to the visitor center, and that's when I learned about Apollo. and we went to the moon, and I learned about astronauts, and that story was what really fueled me to want to do STEM and want to be an astronaut. And I think that this Artemis program is going to do exactly what what girls, my age back then is 7, young people right now, girls and even like young men, obviously. But we want to empower people to know that you can do this, right? If you want to come and work for NASA, if I did it, they can do it. And Artemis program is just going to inspire everybody, and I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
Like Apollo inspired me.
Thank you so much, Lily. Really appreciate you being here. As you said, still a lot of work to do. 5 to 6 more hours to recover Orion that's still out in the water. So I'll let you get back to it. But you had beautiful words to say again. We hope that this inspires people. We hope that you come and join us at NASA and accomplish great things with us in the future. Yeah. Back to you, Rob.
Thank you, Megan, and safe sailing out there in the Pacific. Here in Mission Control, it is now all quiet. The team of flight controllers and all their support personnel have left the room to enjoy the aftermath of a textbook touchdown by Integrity that splashed down in the Pacific right on target to complete this historic flyby of the moon, the Artemis II mission. With that, we'll wrap up our coverage for the night and point you to a post-Splashdown news conference in 15 minutes at 9:35 p.m. Central Time, 10:35 p.m. Eastern Time, where managers will discuss the return of the Integrity spacecraft and the completion of the Artemis II mission. With that, we'll wrap up our coverage for this evening and historic mission in the history books. This is Mission Control Houston. Main chute deploy. And we have 3 good main chutes.
Out the window.
All right, hold on a moment.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Hey, I'm just having a quick snack. Of course, I did it the one time where they wrap up the coverage. So we're going to talk about the war coming up. So I need about a couple minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Beirut cam on the screen right now, and I'm going to finish my bowl of cereal, and then I'll come back and we'll talk more. Where is the Beirut cam? It is there. I can hear 2 of myself. I'll fix that in a second. Okay, hold on. Put this here. Fit the screen. There's that. It is there. And I have this, and I have this. Sorry, I know you might be hearing 2 of me. And this is Beirut. Why is this all weird? Refresh. Why is this all weird? Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Give me a couple minutes, guys. Give me a couple minutes. I'm coming right back, and we'll continue our coverage very shortly. And I'll be. Steve will be right back with more coverage. Okay.
Jeez.
Thursday.
Okay, let's see.
Everyone's here.
Huh?
Such heavy rain. Please head to the exam room. Well, which do you want? That should work. Oh, okay. You want that one? Here you go. That should work. Thanks. Take care.
Okay.
Listen up. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna bust loose. Hey.
Right. Ready. Let's go.
Do you have a moment?
Oh yeah, need the money trainer. Oh, and I got a gene engine thing. That'll make me put a catchy on as the navigator for a bit. Let's try that out. Do 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 do. Oh. Okay, where is it?